There is a very special tool called SQL Data Modeler. So I have already downloaded it and extracted it. You do not need to install, simply extract and use it. Okay, so if you go and look for database SQL Developer Data Modeler, you would find 64-bit JDK included. Click it and download. Okay, so once you launch, you'll be assigned with a default project called untitled. Save the file. Um, I'll go to data modeler. I'll go to file 2, or you could name the project as CSIT 2080 batch section A or whatsoever. Fine. So you can create any table here. So go to the logical design. I'll simply create a new table. It's an entity. I'll separate it here. We have admin, or say different type of users. Drag it if it's done. Then you have the attributes. You must have few attributes here. User underscore ID. That's a primary key. Use, say, create a data logical design. If you do that, you will be gifted with the data types. Prefer it has to be integer type. Here it is, primary key, and we're done. Attribute 2, username, logical design with n varchar 2. Where did it go? N varchar 2. Mandatory. Then I have the password. And varchar 2 again. Then I have the email. Then I have something called access label. One for admin, 2 for guest, and 3 for let's call it as parent. Guardian, and 3 will be for student login. Now, so we have different type of users. If you look at access label, the data type is of integer type. We want 2 or 3. Let's say this is student and this one is teacher. So that the teacher will be able to assign some assignments. Here we have assignment ID. That's integer value. Then we have title and a due date. And a due date. Similarly, we have the question which is of descriptive text type. Okay, and finally, let's have a relationship between them. That would be one to many. A user can create many assignments. Okay, let's call it as user for assignments. So the source is the user, target is the assignment, source is key, if I go to relational model, I don't find anything. Okay, so if you save the file and look at here, it says engineer to relational model. Done. One click and we are done. What about the mapping? So we'll map the same way. The entities here are going to get as a table format. The users as an attribute becomes the columns. Do you see that? This is called mapping. This is called real mapping. Okay. Now, so this is all your table of view, and finally you see say engineer, you get something like this. No worries. This is your design. And finally, what do we do? So you click here, say export, and then with the DDL file, it's 21C databases, relational 1, and generate. I want each and everything as default with the included comments and primary key and unique key constraints and everything else. Okay, so I would say simply OK, and I'm done. Let's save this file. Let's call it to data modeler, and let's call it CSIT 2080. Okay, and this is the file here. Okay, that was done. That was beautiful. So I'll save it. uh, this is done actually. So let's close the file. That's the purpose of SQL Modeler. You might have got the hint. That's the purpose of SQL Modeler. And please ignore any backgrounds. Let's open up our SQL developer. My assumptions are that I'm already connected to Oracle database and the database instance is running as well. Okay. For that, let me see if I have any table here. Okay, we don't have any tables, but the user is already connected. So therefore, I'll load this file. I'll open the data modeler with CSIT 2080 DTL statements. And you don't need to do anything. Simply say Control A and execute. On Ragu? Yes. Perfect. All done. Now, let me go back and say Control Enter. Very nice. If you need to describe it, describe users. Beautiful. So although you happen to choose as an varchar, and if you look at Oracle 21c conversion, then it's already converted to an varchar 2 with the same size that you have specified. If you look at mandatory, it has become to not null. So you might have guessed how much time it saves for any user. Okay, so hopefully you might have seen how these two tools can collectively provide you a lot of help within your project. So now, tentatively, we have two tables, one called the users through which we'll be maintaining sessions, and the other called assignments. So we'll be utilizing the primary and foreign key constraints as well. Then we'll be utilizing the parent table and child table concepts as well. So in the next class, we'll be creating session handling. If you have any confusion, you must comment and I'll reply accordingly in the classroom or maybe on the YouTube channel.